Personal Training Solutions. Today I'm going to teach you a superset. So that's 3 exercises kind of strung together with no rest in between, okay, that complement each other very well. Alright, this superset works what's called the front line, okay, the superficial front line of the body. And that's basically all the musculature that runs down the anterior or the front of the body that really works together to bring you into flexion, right? Bring everything together, okay? So it's good to train that line of muscles, that line of fascia in different ways, okay? So in this superset, what we're gonna do is activate the fascia, okay, by giving it a good stretch, okay? Then we're going to do what's called strengthening the fascia by adding some load, okay, to the workout. And after that, we will work on some mobility to increase or maintain the range of motion in this particular line. All right. So the first movement, okay, is from animal flow. It's called a loaded beast, okay, our beast load and unload. We'll start on the floor, all right, so you'll be on all fours. And you're just going to walk your hands forward, maybe about half a foot. Lift the knees right off the ground, about an inch off the ground. You want to keep them an inch off the ground. Kind of bring your tailbone up and then push your hands and push yourself back into a loaded position and bring yourself forward to an unloaded position, okay? So pushing back, coming forward, back, forward. I'm gonna go ahead and go through this about 10 times. Okay, so that's about 10 reps there. All right, so we just activated the fascia there. The front portion of the shoulders, okay, we had to activate the abdominals, we had to activate the trunk or the core just to keep yourself stable there. And then we're getting a good stretch through the anterior thigh, okay, and even through the ankles as well as you sit back into that stretch position, okay? Moving forward to the strengthening portion where we're strengthening the fascia by adding load, I'm gonna do a squat to press single arm with the kettlebell here, all right? So you can use a dumbbell. If you're a beginner, dumbbell is probably your best place to start. But for me, I love using the kettlebells, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, all right? So I'm gonna bring this kettlebell to a racked position by deadlifting it, kind of in a dynamic movement here. That's a clean there, so I'm bringing it to a racked position, and I'm gonna start from here. Squatting, press, down, I'm gonna do the other side. Good. Again, that's working on really adding load. Notice I'm still getting full flexion. My arms are already flexed there. Coming down, flexing the ankles, the hips there, and then extending through the full range of motion, okay? Coming from full flexion to full extension with pretty decent weight there, okay? So this is 24 kilos, so around 50 pounds there, okay? Like I said, you can use a dumbbell. Good place to start. If you're a beginner, about 10 pounds on the dumbbell, okay? And then kind of work your way up from there. Notice I only did about 6 reps each side. That's because I'm working on adding more load or more strength component than I am about reps, okay? That's how you're gonna gain more strength, is by lifting heavier, not necessarily lightweight for a long time, all right? Okay, so we did the activation, all right? We did the strengthening. Last, we'll work on improving or increasing or maintaining that range of motion that we have through the front line, okay? I'm gonna use a Viper So this tool is hollowed out kind of rubber tube here. It's called a Viper, and it's just really good for working on a lot of different mobility exercises. Okay, so now with the Viper, you can use a dowel, okay, or you can do this body weight as well. I'm just gonna hold the outside here. I'm going to do what's called a step with posterior swing, okay? So I'm stepping forward with one leg. That's decoupling my hips, okay? Now my right side is pretty extended. If you look at my right leg, that's back. It's extended from my ankle through my hips, okay? And I'm gonna swing overhead. So now I'm gonna have extension through the trunk, up through the shoulders, and you can even give a little neck extension as well, and then stepping back to that starting position, all right? Then I'll alternate here, back, and I'll keep going for about 10 times each side. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish these reps. If you wanna get a bigger stretch, you can go deep in that lunge, but making sure I'm pushing from the back hip. So whatever leg is back, I'm squeezing that glute and driving my hip forward. Give me a great hip flexor stretch there. And I get good stretch up through the shoulders, the abdominals, and the neck. All right, so that's gonna be the anterior step with posterior swing, okay? So that's a great superset to do. And just to kind of recap, we started off with the loaded beast, or I'm in that plank position, or starting on all fours, walking my hands forward, lifting the knees an inch off the ground, pushing back, extending forward. All right, that's gonna be the beast load, unload. Then I work towards that squat to press. Here, you can use body weight if you need to, kettlebell or dumbbell. Essentially, you have a weight in your hand, keeping it close to the body, flexing, extending from there. Okay, so I'm working the same line of musculature that I just activated. And to finish off, to really open up and lengthen that fascial line, I like to do wide grip on the Viper, anterior step, posterior swing here. Okay, posterior overhead swing. That's what I like to do for my supersets when working the front line. So go ahead, give it a shot. Like I said, these are the implements I like to use. You can use any implement. It's more about the movement that matters. It's all about the quality of movement that matters. So make sure we're using weight that's appropriate for our skill level, okay? Thanks for joining me, for learning a little bit more about a good superset for that front line. I'll catch you next time. We're gonna work on the posterior chain or the superficial back line next. Till then.